Hey guys, how we doing? Let's talk nutrition quick. Picky or fussy eater dogs. And yeah. Here is Chance. Chance came a couple months ago. She was the gal, if you remember, has spent the last couple years tethered in a smallish outside kennel type area. And so here we are. She came thin and is still thin. Like, she definitely needs some groceries. Yes, ma'am. So she is like 2.5 years old. I have not measured her, but if I had to guess, I would guess at between 28 to 30 inches at the shoulder. And she weighed in at like 80 pounds at our most recent vet clinic. She's too thin. So what am I doing to try to help this gal along? She is not in love with kibble, okay? I think the kibble that she was on at her other place is definitely not the stuff that we give here. And so when she came here, she's just really like kind of dug her heels in about it, which is not unusual for an Anatolian. And yes, ma'am. So my usual next solution is raw. Everybody likes raw. Not everybody. I find my males don't like raw, which is very interesting to me. But the males, in my experience, kind of are Sallies and like, ew, it's not even seasoned. It's not even cooked. It's disgusting. But my females usually, it can be disturbing watching them eat raw because they like the crunch of things. And anyway, she does not like raw, which is interesting. Like I said, she may come into liking it, but she doesn't like it right now. So I do have a recipe that's usually raw that I use for if I want to get weight on stuff. Anything that needs calories put on it. I got this recipe from a fellow farmer who also raises Anatolian Shepherd dogs. I don't know where she got this recipe from. She could have created it for all I know. But anyway, it's a wonderful concoction of raw meat, as in hamburger, the highest fat hamburger you can find, which is usually the cheapest because humans don't want to eat it. But it's high fat, and oatmeal, molasses, total cereal, non-flavored gelatin, oil, eggs with the shells, and just in huge quantities. This batch makes tons of stuff. You're supposed to make it into like little meatballs, raw, and then feed that. So what I did with her is I took them and I made like little mini meatloaves, and I weighed them all out to be like a pound each. And I baked them all. Yes, ma'am. We did, didn't we, for you? Because you're so fancy. She's a fancy girl. She hates me right now. So I baked all of them. Did it take forever? Oh, yeah, it sure did. But we did. And you know what? She eats them. She loves them. So a 1 pound is like a serving normally. So that's what she gets. And again, she loves it. She wouldn't eat them if they were raw, I can promise you that, but she'll eat them cooked. So that's what I've been giving her probably the last week. She polished off that, and then I just cracked a raw egg there in the dish. If I walk away, she may eat it. Sometimes I can get her to eat some raw eggs. I've also been lately putting a can of sardines in there in oil. She enjoys the sardines, not wildly, but she'll eat them. Raw eggs are hit and miss, but that's what we're trying to do with her to get some calories in her. It's hard to get calories on a dog in the summertime. The Anatolian it never shocks me if they go off food when it's really hot. Mine do that. And I don't get worried about it. And I know people stress. I get tons of messages this time of year. My dog went off food. He hasn't eaten in 2 days. Oh my gosh. It's not a big deal. Just make sure they have water. The Anatolian is like ridiculously smart with knowing what they need to eat nutritionally, when they need it, how often they need it, what they need. Like, they're just ridiculously intelligent. They're also very stubborn, it can be, when it comes to food and if they're being persnickety. If I have a dog that's just a picky eater and they're new, I'm like, you're going to get used to what I feed here. You're going to do it. They may not want to eat for a day or two, but then they will and they'll be fine. She's just really like, nah. But we'll see. Like I said, it's been a week on this new kind of regimen, and we'll kind of see how she does. I'm going to walk away from her and see if she'll eat that egg that I tossed in there. Another thing to be very careful of, if you get a new dog, this could be actually any species. It could be a goat, could be a sheep, could be a horse, it could be anything. If you get something that is malnourished or underweight by like a lot, do not try to see how fast you can pound weight on them. Do not start giving them huge, wicked quantities of heavy cream and, well, you wouldn't be giving a horse that, but you get where I'm going with this. Don't all of a sudden pound them with calories, fat. Like, their body cannot handle that. If anybody remembers Karen Carpenter, she was an amazing singer from the 70s, and she died in the 80s. She had anorexia nervosa. She actually died because of going into remission and going into the hospital where they tube fed her and put a ton of weight on her real quick. She had a heart attack. Her heart couldn't handle it after all the years of damage and being underweight and in such horrible condition. Then all of a sudden she got pounded with nutrition and her body was like, yeah, peace out, Girl Scout, I can't do this. It's the same thing with animals. You don't want to take in an animal all of a sudden, like a sheep or a goat. If you got them in and they were underweight and all of a sudden you put them out on rich pasture, they're going to get diarrhea. They're going to bloat. They're going to die. So slow and steady. Slow and steady. We're going to slowly build up the calories, slowly build up the fat, and until they can slowly build up, gain some weight at a manageable rate that their body can handle and then get used to. You're not going to eat that egg, are you? No. She's like, no, I'm not going to do it. So anyway, that's my piece of advice. That's what I'm trying to do with her. And let's see how it goes. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping for the best. And she should gain probably 20 pounds. Like, I would like to see her at 100 and see how she looks then. She's not tall. She's not going to be huge. But 100 pounds would probably look really good on her. So if I could give her 20 pounds from me, give it to her, I'd be happy. But, I can't fix everything by myself.